Hello and welcome back to the Final Whistle podcast. My name is Harry McBain and joining me as usual is Bobby and Dan. And today it's Monday evening, I guess we can say evening now because it's dark outside. And the final FA Cup game is tonight. I think it's West Ham versus someone in Stockport or something like that. But we're going to be going over the games from the weekend of the FA Cup and giving our thoughts on what's happened. So if we start off with you, Bobby, Arsenal are the FA Cup champions. What did you make of the 2-0 win over Newcastle? Of course, you only got it in extra time.
I'll be honest, it wasn't looking great for the first, 75-ish minutes of the game. The first actually, that's kind of reliable. The first 45, we had more of the game. It was kind of what you would expect to happen. They sat back. We just tried to break them down. But, Willian, another poor game. Pepe, another poor game. Not really stepping up to the challenge. And then obviously we bring on Smith Rowe and Saka and Xhaka, and it sort of, phoned up a bit and brought some more creativity. And then in extra time, we sort of ran away with it a little bit. And there was a shaky moment, I don't know if you saw, where they had basically a free shot on goal and Leno pulled out a fantastic save.
That was very good.
Yeah, and he sort of saved us there.
How far, Dan, do you think Arsenal can go this year? Do you think they're going to win it again?
I think they can definitely get to the semi-finals. I personally think it's going to be the other side of North London, Tottenham, that are going to win it this year. I just think that Jose Mourinho will win something this year, and I can't see, if he wins the Carabao Cup, I can see Arsenal winning this. I definitely think a North London club will win something this season.
So that's good news for Bobby. It was quite nervy. I was watching it, the Arsenal-Newcastle game, and Andy Carroll missed an absolute sitter. And then obviously got it in extra time. It was Smith Rowe and then Aubameyang. Bobby, did you think that Newcastle could have grabbed it late on there? Or are you a bit worried?
Definitely with that chance with Andy Carroll, I definitely thought he could have taken that, but obviously Leno's pulled out a great save. I think Andy Carroll, he honestly did more defensively than anyone else. I'll be honest. He was coming back, making loads of bullet headers, clearances. And I think, they definitely came into it in the second half. And, there was all the chance there for them to take it. But obviously, they don't have quite enough quality to, grasp on those opportunities. They didn't have Wilson. They didn't have Fraser. They didn't have Sam Maximan. So, yeah, I think, it was not the best performance from us. But arguably now you could say that isn't even our desired team. I mean, Martinelli came off injured in the warm-up. He looks like he's going to be out for a month, maybe even more now, which is quite unfortunate for us. But, yeah, I mean, they definitely could have taken it, but luckily we just, relied on the youngsters again.
And then the next game I've got in front of me is the Liverpool-Aston Villa game. Obviously, last time in the FA Cup, when it was Aston Villa... Was that FA Cup or was that Carabao Cup when Liverpool got spanked 7-2?
That was the league.
Yeah, that was the league.
Oh, it was league. Either way,
yeah.
Aston Villa, Liverpool, interesting match. Liverpool got the better this time, 4-1. They beat them, but in the first half, it was a lot closer before they had a little spout of goals and 3 goals in 4 minutes. Liverpool got. But in the first half, Louis Barry, the youngster, scored for Aston Villa. Dan, what do you make of him and his performance?
He had a great performance. I was watching the game and everything he did in that first half just seemed to come off. And he's came through the Barcelona Youth Academy and they've only just recently signed him. And I think he could be getting into that Aston Villa first team certainly soon. Or if not, they should loan him out, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did a good job, and I think he could do quite well in the Championship if he were to go to a good enough club. Obviously, Bobby, we saw him he swapped shirts with Fabinho before being told, no, go and get your shirt back, it's your debut shirt. And I think he got both of them in the end, which was good. I don't think Fabinho would really care about getting, keeping his shirt, so it doesn't really matter. Next game on the list, it was quite a big one. Well, it was quite big on TV, and it sold something stupid like 30,000 online tickets. It was Marine Tottenham. Obviously, Marine non-league. There was people watching Gareth Bale from their windows in the gardens, and there was a cut-out Klopp there, and it was brilliant to watch. 5-0 Spurs won it. what was I mean? I know Bobby was watching it because I was messaging you while you were watching it. What did you make of it?
I mean, I think it was basically what you could have expected, to be honest. They set up well in the first 20-ish minutes. You know, they were quite solid defensively.
Yeah.
They were giving away too many fouls, but I guess that's just down to the quality of the Tottenham players drawing out fouls like that. And at the end of the day, I mean, they gave everything they could. They had a great shot that went off the bar. And, you know, if that went in, that could have changed the whole game. You honestly don't know in the FA Cup. But I think just the quality of the players and the fact that the difference between them is just ridiculous. And I think they put up a good performance. But, you know, Spurs striker was clinical on the day. They were making enough chances. And even with the free kick, the quality just took it away from them, unfortunately.
Dan, do you think maybe the deciding factor in that game was the fact that the Spurs players and their fitness was going to be greater than the likes of non-league? Not that that's not their job to footballers, but do you think that fitness was the difference as well as quality?
I really do. I think the fitness played the key for the game, to be honest, just because they train sort of 5 days a week, Tottenham players do, whereas they probably only train twice a week for an hour in the evening or something. And you could tell that in the game, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know whether either of you noticed, it was quite obvious when you were watching it, but I had crowd noise off, so it was even more obvious, was someone had those, like a horn or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And every time a Spurs player touched the ball, there was like all these horns and random noises, which is quite funny, and it's the FA Cup, so why not have a bit of fun? I mean, Jose Mourinho, he looked really just mugged off to be sitting on, looked like a school chair outside on the dugout. The Spurs players had the blankets out when they were on the bench, and I was like, really? I mean, I know it's cold, but a blanket. Yeah. Next game, go down the list for me here is Luton Reading, Dan. So what happened there? 1-0 loss to Luton again in the Cup. You got knocked out by them in the Carabao Cup again. Obviously, I know there was quite a few young players in your starting 11. But Dan, what happened?
So we were playing basically our under-18s team. We didn't have no one on the bench even, because quite often you usually stick 2 or 3 of your main players on the bench if you're playing a team like Luton or someone. But Reading just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, to be honest. They created no real chances. The win for Luton was probably a fair result. We did nothing in front of goal, really. We could have nicked a late draw late on, but it fell to an 18-year-old and he hit the crossbar.
You see, all those things is just basically what I hear every week as a Forest fan. Like, no threat on goal, apart from it's our first team, not our under-18s, which is kind of the problem. But I mean, Reading had obviously youth players, but he did have Elise out there, and he's kind of worth like quite a lot at the moment. Do you think that we could see him going to Europe in the summer? If you don't get promoted, because like we saw that with Jude Bellingham. Dan, do you think?
I reckon that he could be. If we don't get promoted, absolutely, I reckon somebody will pick him up. But supposedly, recently, it's came out that his release clause is a lot higher than the 8 million that's been reported. Supposedly, the club are only going to be accepting 30 or anything above.
Jesus. That'd be quite a lot good money for the club. I mean, not going to brag, Dan, but even we managed to get into the 4th round. I think the last time that happened was when actually we beat Arsenal 4-2, Bobby.
Great.
I saw Forrest posted about it, and I just tagged Bobby in the comments of it just to really rub it in, because that's all I live off, is just we beat you.
Was that the 4th round, that one?
I think that was the 3rd round, and we got through to the 4th on that. But yeah, we got through to the 4th round. I mean, can't really make much excuses. I mean, I love the fact that Derby lost, and I'll get onto that in a minute. But Derby lost, Leeds lost, and it was a great day. I think I know I sent it on a group chat that Bobby was in, and it was a joke all about the FA Cup. I've got it saved somewhere. Let me go to my photos, and it was something like Chris Hughton, Sam Allardyce, Wayne Rooney. Hang on a second, let me find it. It's good stuff. There you go. So Wayne Rooney, Steve Bruce, Sam Allardyce, and Chris Hughton are sat in a pub. Being a bit
Oh,
cheeky,
right, yeah.
Chris lets Rooney get the beers in. They down a pint, and off pops Bruce to get a few more jars for the fellas. A bit of chatter about this and that, and they're all empty. So Allardyce jogs off to refill their glasses. After this third pint, a few pork scratchings, Chris heads to the bar. Upon his return, tight-fisted, Chris has only bought a pint for himself. Oi pipes up Rooney. Where's ours? To which Chris replies, listen boys, this is the fourth round and you're not fucking in it. I mean, it was crazy watching the game. It wasn't even our full strength team. There were a few people in there that, don't normally start, like Bong and Jenkinson, the top quality
Bong?
play. Oh yeah, Gaitang Bong, the
lovely.
one with the hair. He actually got the assist for Lyle Taylor. It was the first goal of the weekend, which isn't something normally we
And, like, was it
contribute.
inside 3 minutes, that goal, I think?
Yeah, 3 minutes. I wasn't used to it. I wasn't even on the game yet because I didn't expect us to be doing that well, and I couldn't find the red button properly. So
Maybe you should just not watch the games. I mean, as soon as you weren't watching it, you scored. Maybe
I
you're a
know.
bad omen, Harry.
but yeah, I think that might. Oh no, it's my brother that's the problem. Whenever we go to watch Forest, like we beat Leeds one time when he wasn't there. Who else did we beat when he was there? Blackburn, but I mean that wasn't much of a problem.
Yeah.
But he's the problem, not me, definitely. Next game, as I mentioned, Sam Allardyce there. West Brom versus Blackpool. Interesting match. Ended 2-2, and West Brom lost on penalties.
Ooh.
Yeah, not doing too great in the league at the moment, obviously, Bobby. And how much do you think Sam Allardyce really cared about the cup, considering he wants to survive in the league?
I don't think it was on top of his priorities. At the moment, he's probably thinking about how he's going to salvage this poor run of form in the league, to be honest. When he's brought in and everyone thinks, that he's going to keep them up because, he's got a good track record of it, but it's not started too well recently. And yeah, I doubt the cup was of his main priority at the moment. He probably wants to keep his first team fit for the league. So I think, they'll be disappointed if they went out on penalties because, it's never nice to go out on pens. But yeah, it is unfortunate.
Yeah, I think as well with Sam Allardyce's record of never being relegated from the Premier League, and he could still do it if he gets sacked before the end of the season.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd love that. If they're doing badly, he might just resign before they get relegated. His record's intact.
Not the worst option.
Exactly. Crawley Town versus Leeds United next. A brilliant result for Crawley Town. Come up the Crawley.
Yeah.
3-0 to Crawley. They even brought on Mark Wright in the 90th plus second minute to run around the pitch for a bit. Dan, how disappointing do you think that will be for Leeds fans?
I think they'll obviously be gutted, but they were playing quite a strong team as well. I saw that Calvin Phillips was playing, etc. And I just think that they're going to concentrate on the league now and see if they can get top 10 in the league, because I'm sure that was their goal more than the cup at the minute.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was. I mean, I don't know whether any of you saw the goals. The Crawley Town's second goal was absolutely brilliant. Got the inside post of the keeper, and it was honestly just fabulous to watch Leeds lose. And there was plenty of jokes about that going around social media. But finally, the game I've been waiting for: Chorley 2, Derby County 0. I mean,
Ooh. Is that Wayne Rooney's the manager of Derby County now, isn't it?
you clearly don't watch Sky Sports, because every week it's Wayne Rooney's Derby County. Wayne Rooney's Derby County. Wayne
I
Rooney's
don't
Derby
watch it that
County.
much.
Honestly, you'd think that he's bought the club and changed the name, or he's running Sky.
Yeah, I mean, he does bring the attention, I guess. I mean, is he doing that well? I don't really follow
No.
Derby County that much. No.
Well, I mean, they're about where we are in
Obviously-
the league, so I guess that's kind of a standard that we're looking at here.
How has Nottingham Forest fell off so badly, Harry? Since you're almost in the playoffs last season.
Well, what a fun story. Last season, we had Lamucci as the manager. He was quite good until he clearly decided, you know what? I've had amazing idea. Instead of playing an attacking midfielder, I'm just going to play 3 CDMs. What?
Oh, right.
Look at that. We've got no attacking threat. It didn't help
Tactical masterclass.
that one of the attacking midfielders that we signed, Thiago Silva, and he was doing brilliantly. And then we sold him in the summer to Olympiacos, whose owner is the same as ours. It turns out that in his deal when he signed for us, he'd signed for us for a season and then moved to Olympiacos. So what was the point of him in being here? We were just his tester, I think. We've now got no creativity.
Oh.
And then life's gone quite badly. We lost like the first 4 games in the league.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, Arsenal had that problem, so maybe you could, bring in some youngsters. It's not always the worst option.
We've been linked with like Olympiacos' attacking midfielder, like Fortunis, and he's worth like 16 million. So,
All right.
because his manager's had a falling out with him, and the line that's come out in the reports are the manager said, "Send him to Nottingham." As that's the punishment.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chorley, they beat Derby 2-0. I'm pretty sure like one of them was a bin man or whatever. But this was Derby
Yeah.
County's like under 18s or whatever, because the first team and Paul Wayne Rooney had to self-isolate because of COVID, which was such a terrible shame,
Oh, yeah.
meaning that Chorley progressed to the next round of the Cup. Dan, do you think that they could do you think they can get past the 4th round, depending on who I get? I hope they get us. I don't want to knock them out.
I reckon that they probably will put up a good fight against whoever they get. I'd say that their target, if they want a top 6 team in the Premier League, and I reckon that if they get less than 5 goals conceded against them, they'll be happy.
Yeah.
And if they get a championship team, I'm sure they'll probably want to keep the tight margin as close as possible.
And I guess obviously you don't want to concede 5 against Premier League side. That's what you just said there, Fred. Surely, and Bobby, it must be awful. Imagine conceding 4 goals to a team in a lower division. It's almost as if we did that a few years ago. To you,
I actually don't remember. No, I don't remember that. Doesn't on my memory. There's also one interesting thing that came out of this FA Cup sort of fixtures this weekend. I think we've found Timo Werner and Kai Havertz's level is against Morecambe.
and Kepa.
I mean, and Kepa, yeah, he's kept a clean sheet. First one since July 2020. I mean, his form's back. And I think it's just brilliant on Twitter. All these Chelsea fans that said Pepe's a flop. Pepe's a flop, right? But
Not that
they're
bad.
they're trying to defend Werner and Havertz, saying, "Oh, they've got 13 goal involvements this year." And I'm like, yeah, about 4 of them came against Crawley, and the rest, a load of them came against like in the FA Cup. Remember when Havertz scored did he score a hat trick? I can't remember. But they've just been those two. I mean, I know it's a totally different conversation, but they've just been so like Werner's looked so off the pace. Havertz has just been like it doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. I don't know what's wrong with these 2 players.
Some other results here that weren't very interesting. Wolves won, Palace 0, Barnsley 2, Branmere 0. Bristol beat Portsmouth 2-1. Chelsea beat Morecambe, as you said there. City beat Birmingham 3-0. Do we think that City can make the final, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, with City in the Cups, it's always a chance, isn't it? They've got a strong enough team. It's whether they, turn up on the day. It all depends on, draws and things.
And then, as we said, Marine lost to Tottenham. But Newport County, this was last night, Newport-Brighton. I think it was 1-0 to Brighton for the majority of the game, and then Newport equalised in the dying minutes to take it to added on extra time, which they held on again for. And Brighton won 4-3 on penalties. So close. But Dan, we always seem to see every year, don't we, Newport County doing quite well in the FA Cup.
Yeah, they always seem to do really well in the Cup, and then mid-table in the league. And in fairness, I think they should start concentrating on the league a bit more than what they do on the Cup.
Yeah. Well, Burnley only just got past MK Dons on penalties. Again, there were some few other fixtures, like Leicester beat Stoke 4-0. I mean, it was quite a surprise one. Wickham beat Preston 4-1. We've already said Arsenal beat Newcastle. Brentford beat Middlesbrough, which is quite an interesting one. They've obviously done really well in the Carabao Cup. Bobby, do you think they can do as well and like use their talent, which they do have? They got talent. Do you think they can use it in this competition as well?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was going to ask you too if you had like a couple, I don't know, what's the word, like dark horses, like, you know, underdogs that you thought were going to maybe progress in the FA Cup. And mine would probably be Brentford, to be honest. I mean, they've brought in Ivan Toney this year. I don't know who they got him from last summer. I just know that he had a good season last year and he's one of the top scorers in the Championship this season. So, yeah, I definitely think that they could progress and they've got good talent. They've got good structure, good team. Obviously, unlucky with the playoffs last year and losing two of their key players in Ben Rama and Watkins. But yeah, definitely, I think they'd probably be my team that you could be an outside shout for progressing in the tournament. Not sure if they could win it, but, you know, you never know.
Yeah, they've got really good players, and I think they've definitely got a chance. They did quite well in the Tottenham match. Obviously, they conceded the goals. I think that was the first leg of the semi-final. But they still did really well. Another interesting game was Bristol Rovers versus Sheffield United. Sheffield United won 3-2, which was obviously really close. But Dan, they managed to get their first win of the season, which was probably really good news for Chris Wilder. Do you think that maybe this could start a run of form in the league, even though they were playing Bristol Rovers?
I think it will start a run, but I just think that they've already got too big of a point gap to make up. I reckon they'd probably win their next couple of games. But again, it's Bristol. They're a nobody. They're not a Premier League quality side. So
Almost as good as Derby. Anyway, I'll just ask you now, Bobby. Is there anyone in particular you want in the next round?
I don't mind. It would be nice to have, you know, maybe a slightly lower team giving us more of a chance of getting through. But, you know, we've shown in FA Cup ties that we can beat the better team. So I'm fairly confident we could possibly push for the retention. And, yeah, I'm not really sure who I'd want to get, to be honest.
Were you just implying there that Newcastle were the bigger team? That you managed to be the bigger team in the cup?
No, I was more referring to last year's, but, you know, you never know.
Dan, who would you like in the next round? Oh, wait, don't worry. We'll pass on that one. Knowing Forest luck, we'll probably get a big team or Arsenal, which we would probably beat you again. Not like we lost to you the other season in the Carabao Cup or FA Cup or whatever, but we, never know. If we're at home, we might get a lucky win, which probably won't happen. But at least we progressed to one round of the cup, and we beat Cardiff, which was quite an impressive thing. We lost to them 2-0 earlier in the season, so some improvement there. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. Make sure to like and subscribe the video for more content. And thank you for listening. That was The Final Whistle.